All right, it is time for the fun stuff to lay the foundation for everything else that we're going to do. I've even grabbed a coffee for this, and we're going to build the go to market playbook skill. Now, what this does is this is the one that feeds all of the other things that we're doing, right? And I already talked about this a little bit. And maybe you're familiar with them. There's one company that does this. They're called Octave, octavehq.com, I think. And they is their core value prop to build go to market playbooks. And you can use those for messaging, training, etc. In our case, this is a little bit what the output is going to look like. Now, in this case, output is this style document. You can adapt the scale that we're going to build to say, give it to me in markdown format. So it's going to be a little bit easier going forward. It can be in PDF format, whatever has your fancy. And basically what it does, it looks at, okay, the company that you work for, we're going to talk about you. What does that company do? What are the core functionalities of the product or the service? What are just key areas of that? What are unique selling points? What are target verticals? And then within those verticals, what are the ICP personas? And then what are the key responsibilities? What are some of the metrics that they own? And those are all things that that can lead to better messaging, right? So if you nail all of this, if you have all of this, then instead of saying, okay, write a message and then Claude has to start thinking from scratch, it will just look at the playbook, look at the person you're looking to reach out to and say, you know what? In this case, I'm looking to reach out to an agency owner. So let me grab the relevant agency owner part from the playbook. And then I know, okay, key responsibilities, metrics that they own, etc., and use that to write better messaging. That's the idea. There's pain to value mapping in there. So like which specific pain point is tied to which specific value proposition that we have, just to make that messaging even more relevant. Different personas, then strategic notes for cold email messaging, competitive context, social proof triggers. So those could be case studies from your website or G2 rankings or you name it, right? So it all goes in here. The idea is like, this is how I build playbooks, and then I feed them into email writers, and that's how I write my messaging. Now, for you, that could be something completely different. Maybe you want different things in there, additional things in there. You can. And right here, right now, I'm going to show you how you can do that and how you can build this playbook or a similar playbook. So we're going to back to the project that we created. We're going to jump in there. We're going to create this GTM Playbook skill, just in case you don't want to use the one that I gave you with this course. So here we are. By the way, I have Opus 4.6 enabled. By the time you're watching this, you may or may not have access to that model, different model. I'm a huge fan of Opus 4.6, but when it comes to Claude, most models are very capable of doing this type of work. Then one other thing, there's a link somewhere in here about the different tools that I'm using. I don't type a lot these days, right? So I use a tool called Whisper Flow. You can see it here. And what that does, it will just help. It will transcribe whatever it is that I'm saying. And I find it very helpful because I don't think typing is very productive these days. Like I feel more productive just talking makes more sense, and it just helps you articulate stuff better, and it's just get things done faster as well. So I'm actually going to do that in this case. You can type along, or you can just grab Whisper as well, or there are a bunch of other options out there as well. I just find it to be very, very helpful when doing this type of work, or any type of work for that matter. We're going to create the go-to-market playbook skill. I'm going to instruct Claude how to do it for you to have an idea on how you could be doing it. So I'm going to turn on Whisper Flow. I'm just going to keep talking, and then that is going to be my prompt for creating this skill. What we did earlier is enable the skill creator skill. A little bit meta, but that's what we did, and we're going to use that. So I'm going to turn on Whisper Flow and go say, hey, Claude, I want you to use your skill, creator skill, to create a go to market playbook skill for me. Now, this go to market playbook skill is going to be the core of our go to market strategy. And what it needs to do is needs to look at what we do as a company and turn it into a playbook for our sales team. Now, what's important for our sales team, so for new sales reps as they get onboarded, is to know the ins and outs of our company, our service or product offering, everything that we do, social proof when it comes to case studies that maybe they can leverage. And then it's very important that we identify the top 5 verticals that we as a company that we go after, and the ICPs, so the personas that fit within those verticals. Now, we want to be specific so that our team really knows who they should or should not be going after. You can determine all that based on our website, our case studies, our product offering, etc. And then it's important that we do something that we call pain to value mapping. So we look at the different value propositions that we have as a company. We look at the different pain points that these personas that we reach out to very likely are suffering from, that they are experiencing, and we map those. So that the best value proposition for that specific pain points, we map those together. And that is so we need a social proof section, ICP section, etc. All that goes into a playbook, and I want you to return the final playbook in PDF format for me. And I only want to trigger that go to market playbook skill whenever this specific comment is being typed. There we go. So that is the prompt I'm using. I can probably give you the exact prompt as well. There we go. It even caught me a little bit early. There we go. So, and so this is the only type I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to market playbook just because I already have a GTM playbook skill. You can use it, GTM playbook. So that's that. I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to go through it, and I'm going to start building the skill for me as I can have my coffee as we wait. And it will start actually creating this skill, and then we'll show you how to install and use that skill going forward. And here we are. So went through, you can actually see it's thinking, has a clear picture of what's needed, creating the skill. It adds a trigger. So whenever we type go to market playbook along with a company URL, it will create a full PDF sales playbook with 5 different sections. So these are the sections that are important to me. Again, you can add any section you want in there: company overview, social proof, etc. So skill does deep research and web searches and generates everything as a polished professional PDF with a cover page. Again, you can have it in text, a document, doesn't matter. In this case, I just wanted to go with a PDF. And then asking me if I want to test it out on a URL right now. I'm actually going to grab this, and you can add this to the project. I'm actually just going to download it, save it, and then we can go here, capabilities, skills, and we're going to add that. So we're going to upload that skill that we created. Let's see. So uploaded the go to market playbook skill, great. And then we can use that in this project. We can use it across the board, and we're actually going to use it. So I'm going to say go to market playbook, and then let's go with, so here's the company I mentioned earlier, just to have a little fun with it. And there we go. So imagine I were working for Octave, then this is the go to market playbook that I will be using. Now this is big, this is 25 pages. Ideally, if we're going to use this for call outreach, it could be a little bit smaller, but then again, it is super extensive, and just using this as input for your cold email messaging, for your post and pre-call transcripts, for your research when you're researching prospects, are going to be very helpful, because this is all context that Claude has. And now whichever next action it will take, it will start looking at this. So whenever it's thinking, oh, I need to write an email, it will have this in mind. So whenever it thinks I need to research a prospect, it will actually tie it to that. and it will actually see, okay, if this is what the company I'm selling for, if this is what it does, then I should be looking at this and all of that, or this is relevant, this isn't, etc. So that's why this go-to-market playbook is so very, very helpful, and why we're using this input for everything else, so as the foundation for everything else. So it has unique selling propositions, like a pricing overview, everything, and social proof, customer evidence, case studies, which is obviously something you can use in messaging, all of that. I'm going to click here. I'm going to add this to project, and that just adds it to the project. And now going forward, whichever other chat that I have in this project can just reference that this is now part of the knowledge of the context that Claude has about my company, my fictional kind of company. Imagine I would be working for Octave. It now knows everything there is to know. And it doesn't always get everything right, or maybe you want to make some changes, because in the end you are the expert. So maybe you're seeing this vertical and you're thinking, okay, there are things about this vertical I would change. Maybe here it says, for example, key characteristics about the vertical that you want to go after is there between 2 to 5 million ARR. Maybe you would say, okay, you know what, actually, that's a broader range that we usually go after. You just tell us saying, hey, listen, actually, change this, change that. Great, generates it for you again. There you go. And then once you're happy with it, add it to your project, and that's it. And now going forward, whenever you want to update it, you can just tell, okay, go to market playbook, so the skill that we have, and then you tell it, okay, actually, we have new products that we've launched, new services, or new future, new case studies, or heck, maybe you've changed companies, or maybe you want to go different direction and say, okay, now I want you to create a go-to-market playbook specifically for this vertical, or specifically for a new geographic area that we're going after. And then that way you can have maybe multiple go-to-market playbooks that Claude can pull context from, or you can update your go-to-market playbook every 6 months. Now you have this skill, you can use it going forward, you can use it forever, and you can just generate go-to-market playbooks that you can use for your team, but arguably more importantly, you can use it for Claude, so it has all this context, and you can use that going forward. That's exactly what we're going to do, because we are going to jump into the next scale. We're going to generate our next agent, and I'll see you in that video. We're going to go through the same thing, just for a different approach, and we're going to stack all of these scales. We're going to stack all of these agents together.